My name is Natalie Swenson, and I'm so excited to share with you tonight my heart, my journey as an entrepreneur, and how it's been crazy. I'm just really excited to share with you how we've been able to build success and create it despite tragedy and hardships that our family has faced, and we'll get into that. But so who am I? If this is the first time we're meeting in this virtual screen, hello. I am 29 years old. I live in Utah. I am a mom. I've got two little girls, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they are so fun. I can't believe I'm out of baby stage. Like, what the heck? Time flies. I'm married. My husband is David, and I'm an introvert. I had never done any type of video like this before I started Zaya, so it helped me grow a lot. I love the outdoors and adventuring. I love iced coffee and I love sleep. Like, I'm not a night owl or an early bird. I just love sleep. Like, I will be cozy. Like, my bed just is the best place ever. So anyway, that's just a little bit about me. But okay, so the real reason you're here to hear about Zaya and my entrepreneurship journey and how Zaya plays a role in that. So I would say a little bit of background. I've always had a little bit of like an entrepreneurial spirit. My dad owns his own business. Also, Dave's dad owns his own business, and I liked the idea of being able to work for myself. So anyway, I just didn't know how. And I got married almost 9 years ago. Yay. And me and my husband are very like futuristic minded people, and we're just oddballs, and we had this dream where we wanted to work together one day. It doesn't work for every couple, but it was just a dream of ours since day one. We just thought it'd be like the coolest thing. And so starting out in our like careers in married life, I remember he got a job at the mall working to sell cell phones. He has a background of sales. And I got a job at the mall working at a makeup counter, and we'd like pass each other on lunch breaks or on breaks, and then have lunch together. And like, that was the starting point of working together. But anyway, we tried lots of businesses and failed at lots of businesses. But that's how you learn and grow, right? That's how one thing leads to the next. So we tried a photography business together. I tried like an Etsy shop where I like made holistic like product, and almost caught my kitchen on fire trying to make homemade deodorant. So that ended that career. I realized I wasn't cut out for that. And I tried a few different direct sales companies. My mom and some other family members are a part of another company, and they did it in the early 2000s. And so I was pretty young at the time when they were doing it, so I didn't really understand it. I just like heard the weird, like the stigma around MLM, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I never gave it much thought. But anyway, so as I'm trying these different avenues, trying to feel like what feels right or what I like, and nothing's working out. Me and my husband, like I said, we love the outdoors. We love adventuring, hiking, rock climbing, mountain biking. And when I had my first daughter, the reason why I'm going like this is because I would put her on my back. Dave would wear her on his back too. We had a little carrier, and we'd go on hikes and bring her. And it was like the best thing ever. It's one of my favorite things to do as a family is go hiking and bring our little ones out in nature. And I'll never forget, we were out hiking one day, and we again got in our like dreaming mentality, thinking in the future, and we're like, what do we want to do? We're just in that discovering stage, trying to figure out life, right? The never-ending process. And I just remember being so like stumped when we were just talking. I'm like, what do I love to do? And I'm like, I like this. I like hiking. I'm like, babe, how do we get paid to do this? And that was adventure and hike. And we're like, man, we're going to find the wood. We're going to do it. So I feel like that was a big turning point where I manifested Zaya into my life without knowing it. So anyway, now when my eyes were really opened up to the opportunity that direct sales had to offer was actually knowing somebody in the industry that was around my age. Because like I said, my mom was in it, some family members, and I just never gave it much thought. I thought it was weird. But my husband's roommate's wife got into another company, and they were struggling with like infertility issues, and they needed a way to get funds to help fund like their fertility journey to have babies. And we were following along their journey, and I was watching her, and I remember having this conversation with her, and this thing she was doing, she told me she was making $10,000 a month doing it by selling this product online on her phone. And I was like, excuse me? What? Like 10, like 10000, like you're making that? And she's like, yeah, like God is providing, like we are gonna be able to fund like our fertility journey. And I got chills, and I was like, whoa, like if she could do it, why couldn't I do it? Like if there's actual money to be made in that type of model, okay. I tried that company and failed. So I just needed to find a product that I loved and a brand that I stood by, right? That I was passionate about and that I connected with. And so how did I find Zaya, right? So, like I said, I love to adventure. I love the outdoors. After I had my first daughter, I started exercising for the first time in my life, like consistently. And I just fell in love with the way it made me feel, like mentally. It was like me time, not so much, I mean, yeah, the physical benefits are nice, but like, it was just like a release, the endorphins, it just made me a happier person. And, I created a fitness Instagram account just to help keep me accountable, because I was doing these like online guides, workout guides. I was connecting to women all over, and I was like, man, I don't even know these people. They don't live close to me, but we're connecting. We're doing these workouts together. We're cheering each other on. And that's actually how I found Zaya. I was scrolling the gram one day, and I saw this cute clothing line by a weird name that I didn't know how to pronounce. I was like, Zia? What is that? I saw it was new. And I'm like, okay, I need to look into this because I saw that it was a way that you could rep for them. And it was this model that I didn't really understand, but it was direct sales. And I remembered that friend that made serious money doing what she did. And I was like, oh, this is actually a product I love. Maybe I could partner with them and just run with it. And so this was in 2017. And the reason why, like I said, I was continually looking for a way to work for myself because I liked the idea of direct sales, like being able to work for myself. And I wanted to be home. So at this time in 2017, a little more background. I had gotten pregnant with my second daughter. My husband had actually also had some job loss. And so I was like, man, how can I help our family financially, right? So that was a motivator to like keep looking for avenues to make money, but I wanted to be home. And so anyway, I'm pregnant. I'm in my third trimester when I found this activewear brand. And so in my mind, I was like, hey, I'm gearing up for my second postpartum fitness journey. That's going to motivate me to wear cute clothes. I had never never had a pair of high quality leggings before, but I'm like, people like high quality clothes, so maybe it's awesome. So I just trusted it, and I never tried Zaya before, and I decided to dive in. I was like, hey, let's go. If I can make a little bit of money on the side, great. But there was something that I could have never planned, right? So, anyway, I had just become a rep. We're gearing up for baby number 2. We're feeling pretty good. My husband actually got this new job and took on a big position. Like, it was a big deal and a big risk. We're pretty big risk takers. That's probably why we've like failed at a bunch of stuff, but we keep trying new things. But anyway, we took a risk with this other company for him where he would give up his salary, but he would get profits. Like, it had a high reward, right? And we're like, everything was adding up where it would be like, it seemed like an awesome decision, right? He takes the job. I'm here rep, we're like, we're feeling good. 4 days later, after he accepted that position, his brother went missing, which turned our world upside down. And this is a brother that was just older than him. He was 30 years old. He was a dad to a little 7-month-old baby. He had a wife, and the Swensons, my husband's family, like, they are so golden. All the siblings are so close. Like, they have a relationship that's so admirable. And he goes missing. Our life goes on hold. And about 3 weeks goes by. And we get the heart-wrenching news that he had passed away. We had found his body. We still don't have answers. But we were searching, you just never stop. And I am about to pop at the time, like 9 months pregnant, and we're out in the heat running search parties, and I thought I was gonna go into preterm labor many times just through all the stress. I had lots of contractions. I had to go get like those stress tests, like make sure baby's not gonna come. But this was a time I saw God's hand in my life. We had his funeral, and the sun set when we laid his body to rest. And then I went into labor that very night. Long story short, our baby came very fast. Like, I was not planning on a natural delivery, but it happened. But the sun rose with life. And it was very symbolic to me of hope. And was a little piece of light during a very dark time. But so now we have a little newborn and a toddler. My girls are exactly 2 years apart by a day. When I say exactly, like, their birthdays are a day apart. That was not planned. And now we go back home. But remember that job my husband took on and accepted right before all that happened? Yeah, that tanked. And we suffered a lot of financial stress. And if you are going through financial stress, like we have been there, and my heart goes out to you when your bank account goes into the negative and you get all those charges from your bank going into the negative, and you're not sure how you're going to pay your bills, and just the stress that it puts on you. That was really, really hard. And then just the transition to 2 kids. Like, if you're going through that, I am sending you love. That is a lot. Any type of change is just a lot. And I was experiencing postpartum depression. And then also, I don't know why God threw this at me at the same time, but during that time, I also faced childhood sexual abuse that happened to me for the first time as an adult. And if you know anyone that has experienced that, there is something where you can literally block it from your brain as a protective mechanism, and then you have tendencies or anxiety or whatever things that manifest, but you're not really sure why. And Anyway, a series of events happened where it finally came forward where I was able to open up about it for the first time. And wow, that was really painful and caused a lot of drama. But I finally was able to start embarking on my healing journey with that, which was needed. So needed, even though it was so hard and so painful to face as an adult, and I had so much anger and everything, but to start on that journey. And I don't know why that all happened at once. And then our little Olivia, our baby, got pneumonia and she was hospitalized, and we could have lost her. And then my husband lost his other job. But wait, there was this activewear brand in the background, right? That's what we had started talking about in this video. My journey with Zaya was not fast. It wasn't like me, woo, like instant success and everything. There was a lot that hit us, and I could have quit so many times. I mean, I had valid reasons. We had a lot going on. And there was this thing, right? These clothes I couldn't even really think about. But what got me to stay was the people that were there. Like these people that were within corporate and also that were doing Zaya, that were reps, that were supporting us during our trials. They didn't know me. But then just like the simple like reach outs to me, seeing how we're doing, sending their love to us during our time, like during those times, like that got me through. That's what I needed. I mean, I wasn't making awesome money or anything. It was like 20 bucks here and there, 50 bucks. And I'm like, ooh, okay, we're struggling financially so bad, but I'm not making all this money. But it was the community starting out that got me to stay. And a big turning point was I went to a summit with Zaya, which is like a conference. And I went with my little baby. And so I almost didn't go because I'm like, oh my God, baby, this is weird. I'm gonna meet up with like these people I don't know. Like I didn't know what to expect. I was scared. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm very introverted and I can be like shy. My nose is running because I got all emotional. But I went to the summit and made friends. And I'm like, oh, I have friends. And Zaya gave me like this opportunity to talk to other adults. If you are a mom with young kids, you know the feeling. You're like, I just need to talk to another adult. So that's what it was starting out for me. I had a huge mindset shift at the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. Zaya released their very first travel incentive, which I had a travel bug in me, but I never had the means to do it, right? I'm like, someday I'm gonna travel. But I saw that this company offered travel incentives that you could earn, and they launched their first trip, and how you earned it was getting points of doing certain things. And I was like, okay, if I just do this, this, and this, that adds up to this many points, then I can go. Okay, I'm gonna do it. And I like put my head down and got to work, and I earned that trip. It was to Las Vegas, and I earned a trip to, for me and my husband. I gotta bring my husband along, and we're like, ooh, this is so cool. This is awesome. Like, this could be something, right? But I'm still not making like awesome money or anything, but it was like, great, like that was awesome. And so I began this mindset shift of treating my business like a business, of putting time aside to work it, right? Like I always wanted to do, work for myself. And it was in the spring of 2018, I'll never forget, where I made a paycheck that was just over $2,000, which was more than I was making before working full-time on my feet at Nordstrom's, working like around, a lot of hours. And I was like, babe, this is something. Like, I did this from home with my newborn in my arms, my toddler with me, and just feeling that weight of that financial weight being lifted from our family because we had struggled so hard financially. And just seeing a little bit of light there of, wow, that is life-changing right there. And so I just continued to do what I was doing, treating my business like a business. Time passed, fast forward, and I started making 6 figures with this activewear brand. And I was like, what? Me at home? What is happening? What is happening? These are clothes. Like, what is this? And so me and my husband re-evaluated. We sat down, and he, you know, was working this other job, and we took another risk. Us risk takers, right? That bites us in the butt sometimes, but sometimes there's high reward, right? We decided to take another risk, and he left his job so that we could dive in more fully to this activewear brand that we were doing. So we could give it more energy, so he could help out with the kids and help with laundry, so I could give it more time, right? And fast forward more, we have become a top income earner with this brand. We have paid off all of our debt, which we had so much. And that feels so free because of, my heart goes out to you if you're struggling with financial stresses, because we've been there. We were able to fulfill that dream of working together, right? We said at the beginning that was always a dream of ours since we first got married. And so that's probably why we decided to take that risk, because it was something always in the back of our mind. And we lived in an RV. And traveled the Pacific West Coast with our girls and our dog, and adventured and hiked, and that filled my cup, and that fulfilled the dream of getting paid to adventure, right? From our hike, where I would wear the clothes, we'd snap pictures, like content, like that's working. I could work on the go, which I loved, being in an RV, crazy road trip, and fulfilled that why. And I will never forget that hike that manifested that moment. And now we are building our dream mountain home in Utah, and it's crazy. We're supposed to break ground at the end of this month or next month. Like, it's happening. We're getting all of our permits with the city, and I can't believe it. And another big part that has been so life-changing, or just like a important part to us, is because of the time freedom that this opportunity has allowed us to have, is my husband was able last year to partner up with an organization that fights human trafficking called SERT, S-E-R-T. And a little bit of background there. So SERT has been around for around 17 years. Doing what they do. And when Dave's brother went missing, there was connections where somebody contacted them, because they just help missing persons cases, mostly in the trafficking section, but occasionally if somebody goes missing, you know, if they feel called to a case, they will help. And so this organization CERT came and helped search for Dave's brother. So that's how we met them. And they brought so much light to our family during that dark time. Even though it did not end up how we had hoped, they brought so much light and peace to our family. And we did not know them, had no clue, and they just dropped everything to help our family. So fast forward, about 3 years later, Dave felt so called to partner with that organization. It's a cause that he feels very called towards, and he became an operator where he gets to now donate his time to help on these operations to fight human trafficking. And he's actually on and off right now. And I'm so grateful for the time freedom that Zaya has made that possible for him, as we work together with Zaya, but also where he can fulfill things where he feels passionate about too. So Anyway, just to wrap up, that's a little bit about my story. I love this brand so much. I've been in it about 3.5 years, and to say it's changed mine and my family's life is an understatement. Even in the beginning, that community when I wasn't making money, like that was life-changing of just having that connection. And there's so many parts of this business that is so invaluable, like the personal development side of it as well, where I have had a hard time with speech, which you might notice during this video. I'm kind of awkward. I never done a live video before Zaya, but it's helped me step into my own, find myself, who I am, get to know myself. And I love that. I love that personal development side so much. And now I get to help others grow with this. I see Zaya changing people's lives every day now. There's so much success within Zaya, and there is no shortage of success with Zaya. And it gives me chills because, you know, I just think back of when we were in discovery stage of what we wanted to do with our lives, right? We had these big dreams of what we wanted, but how do you get there, right? And we found the answer, like an actual solution to achieve those dreams, right? And it is this amazing opportunity of direct sales and getting paid to wear leggings. It's an actual solution, it's trusting it. So it's so much more than just clothes. I mean, the clothes are awesome and that's perk, but it's a vehicle to accomplish those dreams. And I love seeing people succeed in this business, and there's so much success. Like, if you love to travel, pack your bags because Zaya does too. And they just announced that their most recent incentive trip to Cancun this year, 900 people earned it. Like 900 plus their plus ones. So that's 1,800 people going. Like, Zaya's taking over Cancun. So cool. And it's only growing from there. Like, there is no shortage. Like, there's so much success. I want to see you succeed with whatever dreams that you have. And I'm excited to see how, you know, Zaya could play a role in that, in your journey. So my advice to you, as you're looking at this opportunity, as you're looking at, you know, whatever it may be, what's going on in your life, if you are going through trials or hardships, especially like the last year we all went through together, they don't define you. They don't have to hold you back. Oftentimes a storm comes before a rainbow, right? Oftentimes when we're about to do something that we feel called to do, something good, there will be resistance. There will be something trying to stop us. Don't let it stop you. Keep going. And I don't know why hardships happen. They suck really bad. But just trust in a power higher than you, that there is purpose in it. And keep holding on. Trust the process. And next, I would say, if you feel called to something, like, just dive in. There's never a perfect time for anything. If my story is any example of that, never a perfect time, right? So if you feel called to it, dive in, just start. Sometimes starting is the hardest part. And so just dive in. So contact the rep that invited you here. Ask the questions, find out what you need to know, and then I'm excited to see how Zaya is going to unfold in your journey and help you along your path. So anyway, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and dealing with all my weirdness, but it's been an honor. So I hope you have a wonderful night. Take care.